Yo, what's up? It's your boy DJ Sabby, the best thing ever. And right now, you're keeping it locked to one of my favorite channels, man. Where is the beef? That's what we about. When you find it, cut me a slice. I've been working with Fat Pro and Jovi Slash for minutes, and it just made sense for me to actually put Fat Pro on this one. And when it comes to music, I remember the first single I dropped was Taking It. I featured Quez all the way from Ben City in Benoni. And Young Homeboy, man, was just fresh. It just made sense for me to put him on. So it was literally me as a newcomer in the music scene. Because as much as I do music, I mix music, when you drop a single, it's a totally different story. You know, so I worked with him on the first one, second one with Habida, Jovi Slash, and the late Flabber, may so rest in peace. With this one, it was the continuation of what I had already started. And, you know, I usually joke around with the boys every time I get calls from exes or they retweet my stuff or favorite my stuff by mistake on Twitter or like my pictures and then unlike them. I'm like, what are my exes up to, man? Why they now all over my life? You know, what do they want, you know? And I remember Jovi was like, what they want, man? Fat Pro was like, what you want, you know? And that's how the story came about. We started making the music. Fat had a beat. We jumped on that. And that's how we came up with the story, man. What you want? You know, do you want to give me the V? Because girls say they want the D. So I was like, yo, man, maybe they want to give me the V. But the only way to find out is if I entertain the call. And that's how the storyline came out, and it made sense after the second single I dropped to drop this one. And the time of the year, you know, it's winter, exes start calling and everything like that. But it's a great track, very different from what the market is dropping right now, and it's been well received. Yeah. I've always had a love for hip-hop, man. Even though I grew up from a family that was all about R&B and music with soul and everything, I've always found myself playing around with hip-hop and just being intrigued by how these guys are voicing things that are actually happening in the hood. And the closest link for me was Kwaito. You know, I feel like the guys that are doing Kwaito, it was our hip-hop in a way, because, you know, the States, they say it's hip-hop. For me, Kwaito has been like the closest link to hip-hop. And how the guys, Abo Zola, Abo Mendoza from back in the day, the things they really, really spoke about as a young kid is what I used to see on a daily basis. So I've always been intrigued by how these guys take their poetry, take their lyrics and put it onto a beat, and everyone just jams along to that and everyone relates to it. So it's always been close to me. It's always been close to me. I guess it's home. It's home, yeah. Well, Get Paid Team No Sleep. The idea came back in 2012. I was still doing the Adrenaline Rush on Y. And fans were like, yo, Sabby, why don't you just hook us up some t-shirts, man? There's people that listen to the show a lot. And I started doing research, you know, because these days you can't put hashtags on t-shirts or anything without doing research. And I found out that Team No Sleep is owned by Dwayne Wade. And that's actually his business. That's his clothing line. So I couldn't monetize that or do anything with it. And then I was like, well, when you don't sleep, the aim is to get paid, and that's the key point. And that's how the brand came to be. We dropped the first range. I remember we sold like 600 in the first month. That's straight from the boot, you know. The hype was crazy. It relates to the market, and my core market was Braamfontein. You know, this is where I sold 600 hoodies in 1 month. You know, it was crazy. And then from there, this thing just blew up, and people from everywhere across the country wanted this. And this was my first time getting into business, so the cash flow was insane. Everything was brand new. So handling of the money, handling of the business was new school for me. So, you know, the business kind of like slacked a little bit, but we're back right now. We're running. We fixed a few things, and it's good to know that even in this third year, you know, winter is still one of those seasons that people are like, yo, Sabby, when are the hoodies dropping? When are the sweaters dropping? You know, because if we could have followed trends, man, we could have did the bucket hats and everything. But I've realized that if you're solid and you service your markets with what they really know you for, then you stay winning. And that's been us for now, sweaters and hoodies and t-shirts. And it's been a great success. Yeah.